Unless you count the, oh yeah, Tiamat, Raging Storm, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get started on the event previews, but before I do, I just wanted to tell everyone, if you weren't on Discord when I announced it, I did release the S tier buffing list. Not lists, but the deep dive into the S tier buffers, which would be Onion Knight with his stuff, Saz with his stuff, and Ramza with his stuff. And Quina. Wow, the timing on Quina's theme. Quina for the honorable mention for supports. Oh. Okay. I'll have to remember that. Unswayed by Phantoms. Ash and Balthier event. Eliminator. It's Red 13's USB. Magic resistance defense plus 30%, haste, and Astra. It's very good. It's Red 13's USB except for magic instead of attack. Then you don't have a haste Liven, unless you're rocking Sarah with her USB as your healer. God, that would be... That team... Oh. Ugh. Is it good enough to pull for if you already have red? Oh, they're very different buffs. Switching that attack to magic changes everything. It's not chased good, no. Alright, let's get started with this. Final Fantasy XII. Oh boy. This is, you know, I don't plan on pulling any of these banners, but this is what I'm excited about. We got some machinist skills coming. And only one of them sucks. Burning Snipe and Freezing Snipe. 5-star machinist. Each one of them are copies of Tempest Snipe. 6 times single target damage. Of fire or ice, just like Tempest Snipe is lightning. They're great abilities. Love them. Love them. All you people out there with Laguna's USB, you've been waiting for this. Because Laguna gets 35% chance to dual cast machinist abilities, and Icicle Shot doesn't cut the mustard. It's very strong, but the that dual cast chance is really nice. Oh, then Lemonade, it's not even, shouldn't even be on your radar. Yes, Blyven. 5 new 5-star abilities in this this event. We get Heat Offer, which can be quickly and easily turned into 11 major orbs. Cool. And then we have the dancer abilities that just came out. And remember when these came out for Japan? And we distant previewed this, and I took a look at these, and it was like, whoa! Awesome! Look at what they're doing to Dancer. Then we found out... Then we experienced what happened to the game. Which is, these are not useful in the highest level of content. And not only are they not useful, but they have extremely low durations, even compared to normal dances. So normal debuffs. What? Where's my cursor? Lose it sometimes. Normal debuffs last 15 seconds. The two new abilities only last 10 seconds each. They are significant debuffs. Attack and magic minus 50% for 10 seconds. That is a significant debuff. It only lasts for 10 seconds. It lasts for 10 seconds and it doesn't work on Magicite dungeons. I'm not sure how I feel about them. Do you take the hit and deal with them being only 10 seconds and just shatter your Heathen Frolic and your Exhausting Polka? You know? No? Maybe? Do you keep them both and, you know, pair them up with multi-break? I mean, multi-break is always going to be just the dance that they should have called break dance, by the way. I suppose I don't mind that they're 10 seconds. I don't know. Maybe this is what you're going to see me do. I'm just going to shatter my other dances and stick with the 5-star dances. I much respect Lemonade. Alright, so these are weird abilities. Not hyped about them, but maybe they're good enough to just replace what we currently have. So a direct upgrade is nice. Wow. Uses Major Holy? Yikes. It's a good thing I'm farming Holy Orbs in the Final Fantasy IV tournament right now. Alright, we got some new Legend Dives. Penelo and Bosch, that's it. Penelo gets your typical healer dive, 9% white healing and double silence resist. Bosch gets double confuse resist, that's cool, and double holy damage, that's also cool. So both of these are good dives. What do they get for materia? Bosch gets 40% chance to cover physical attacks and target allies, reducing damage taken by 50%. Nope. Haven't really seen how these could, you know, positively affect a team enough to make it worth spending 5-star motes on. So, yeah, you've got some good Legend Spheres, but not a big fan of this LM2. Penelo gets a percentage chance to cast a group heal after using a dancer ability. That is a copy of Mog. 35% chance to cast a group heal after using a dancer ability. And falls into the same, you know, pitfall as Mog is, you know, this isn't really that useful because dancer abilities aren't that useful. You could get cute in other dungeons and use dances and try to heal strictly with having a dancer. But that would be weak content, and you could do whatever you want in those anyway. It's not a reason to spend your most valuable resource, the 5-star motes, just to do something neat. You know, if you do, that's awesome. And kudos to you. But I don't really care for the LM2, so I don't really consider either of these characters diveable. Bosch gets attached wholly at the beginning of battle on his LMR, and Pinello gets 25% chance to dual cast. That's their best legend materia. Okay, banners. Alright, we got 3 USBs, 4 BSBs, 3 legend materia, and 2 super soul breaks. Let's take a look at these USBs. Osh. We get the first rank-based USB, right? And what I mean, rank-based chase, not rank-based overall, because I think the first one of those was Alphino. But Ash gets the first rank-based chase. 10 single target lightning non-elemental magic and lightning self magic and resistance plus 30%, which is, it's like a hope thing. Magic and resistance plus 30%. It overlaps with Rafa and her magic and resistance plus 30%. Just like Sid Reigns and Hope, but there is a big difference between Rafa and Sid Reigns. So I don't consider this a mark against Ash. It's just, you know, if you're going to go for this, probably, you know, look to buff your team with someone other than Rafa with her BSB. Rafa's USB, though, works fine. Rafa's USB is very good. Okay, so, and temporarily cast Lightning Charm when using black magic abilities. I know we're calling it something much different. Yeah, I know Asha's Ultra's really, really good. And I want to pull for it, honestly, but no can do. Had I not picked up Larsa's BSB off of the selection in the last festival, I would still be looking at this banner. Thunderstorm follow-up. Thunderstorm follow-up is 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 single attacks at 1.42 each at rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the triggering ability. That's what I mean, it's a rank-based chase. If you have your Chain Thundaga at R5, be prepared to do 6 hits from your chase for an 8.52 multiplier. That is a huge multiplier. That is bigger than a lot of people's burst commands. Oh, okay. Thank you for taking care of Yoshi's question. An element is that powerful, yes. So that's a huge chase. That's very, very, very powerful. Chain Thundaga. If you had any plans on pulling on this banner, was a hone target for you. Because this is a remarkable USB. Very, very powerful and ready to be augmented by cast speed modifiers. At which point? Oh, so like if you're unable to R5 Chain Thundaga, well, we can math it. Sudden Thunder has... Oh, God. So Sudden Thunder has a multiplier of 5.2. Oh, rank 5 Sudden Thunder? Okay, yeah, R5. Okay, yeah. Well, you want to have the casting ability at R5 Strider. That's... just because you're not going to use the Hones doesn't mean it doesn't affect the chase that Ash does. So, by using Sudden Thunder, I just can't math this. Because there's no way to take into account... There is, but I can't do this in my head. I'm not that deep. I can compare the 12.0 or 11.8 multiplier of Chain Thundaga to the 5.2 of Sudden Thunder, but Sudden Thunder has Quick Cast. I can tell you that though you lose a lot of multiplier by using Sudden Thunder, you don't lose anything from the chase. So, whether you use Chain Thundaga R5 or Sudden Thunder R5, you're still going to get an 8.52 chase. You're just going to get it faster if you're using the Sudden Thunder. If you're unable to R... Say if you're unable to R4, if you're stuck with an R3 Chain Thundaga, then I'd say use R5 Sudden Thunder. Is the chase instant? Yes. All chases are instant. Anyway, that's a really good USB. Balthier's USB, 10 single target, fire non-elemental, ranged physical. And fire, self-quick cast 1, and temporarily gain self-quick cast 1 when using machinist abilities. It's just a quick cycle USB. He uses the Burning Snipe ability that we just got in the event, and he just casts it over and over again. What's his LM2 like? I think he has one of those Imperil LM2s, which is fine. It makes him a good member of a 3-person fire team. Yeah, 30% chance of minor Imperil, that's fine. So it's just a good fire USB. If there's anything wrong with this, it's the fact that it's just a plain old quick cycle USB, and it's the fire element. So, you know, it's in a difficult category, a difficult element, because there's a lot of good fire stuff. Not only is there a lot of good fire stuff, but there's a lot of easy to get fire stuff. But it's an option. It's a good one. Like this, I don't have anything wrong with it. I like the LM2. I like the LMR that comes on this banner that I picked up off of the Black Friday poll. Just not top tier, A tier. We'll just say that, and you understand. Vaughn's USB, 0 cast time. That already means it's probably going to be pretty relevant. 10 single target, random physical. Enemy attack and resistance minus 40%, self attack and resistance plus 30%. I think that's the key. That makes up for the fact that some of its power is lost here in Magicite Dungeons, is that he gives himself an attack and resistance buff. And it's 0 cast time and gives him the buff, and then he grants himself X mode Sky Pirate, which allows him to instant cast out thief abilities. So that's pretty good. And with thief getting... Thief has just wind. His poison's not relevant. Wind and non-elemental. Does thief get anything else? No. Yeah, fire. Thief gets fire in the future, doesn't it? It does. Von can instant cast out elemental stuff and help out. It's not as good as... is it a thief damage buff or is it a non-elemental damage buff? I think it's thief. It's thief, isn't it? Thief abilities deal 30% more damage. I personally like the USB because it's really flexible. If there's a thing I have an issue with, it's Von's Legend Dive. I'm not really thrilled with it. But I think it's a pretty versatile USB. I love zero cast time stuff. So out of the USBs, this is S tier. Well, Von is definitely S tier non-elemental, that's for sure. But I'm trying to think of this in terms of the higher level stuff. Is it good enough non-elemental damage to be good enough against stuff like Magicite where you kind of need to exploit vulnerability to do enough damage? I think if you've got whale tier stuff and you've legend dived him and you're putting a full breakdown on the boss or something to help out with his LM2, which I'll go take a look at right now. His LM2 increases damage dealt by 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30% if a certain number of the target stats are lowered. The USB itself lowers 2 stats, so his LM2 with just this USB increases damage by 10%, which is not worth an LM2 dive at all. And that's my issue, is that you need to carry somebody else that for some reason has a damage boost. Not a damage boost, the stat debuffs that aren't attacker resistance. I think he's really hard to use now, and I think he's going to be even harder to use in the future. But outside of Magicite dungeons, I think he's awesome. I could probably say the same for a lot of people. Unfortunately, the meta doesn't... it's not in Von's favor, that's all. At the moment. Balthier is definitely better. Balthier is a A-tier fire and can definitely help teams get there versus Sea Lion. He's going to fall off a little bit in the future. Just because fire, there's so many good fire things that he's may get pushed off of people's teams. Like for the upcoming Onion Knight banner in like 3 weeks. Raphia with her USB is on it, and I take Raphia with her USB over this. And she is low ass high A tier. Ash is pretty awesome though. BSBs, Penelo BSB2, which is good because her BSB1 was kind of old and iffy and had a bad buff on it that was so bad that it ended up hurting a lot of the time. But Kiraga Medica Party Last Stand, this is the second Last Stand BSB for healers in the game. The first belongs to Realm. We all know how good that one is. And I would consider this entry better than Realm's, where Realm is better than Penelo, and I would say that she's so good with her BSB that is better than Penella's BSB2 is the commands. Penella's first command is a Kiraja High Regen, and the second command is Medica H25. This is exactly the same commands, except for instead of High Regen on the first command, Realm gets 0 cast time Kiraja. That's so much better. I will take the Kira Medica entry on Realm and her BSB and give me 0 cast time Kiraja. 0 cast time Kiraja is like... These two commands are so good. I'm looking at Lars's BSB right now. These two commands are so good, it's just hard to create variants of this that would exceed the usefulness. I think the only variant of this that I prefer more is Sarah's version, which is a 0 cast time Kiraga with high regen. Because it's a 0 cast time heal. Yeah. So, while I like the fact that Penel has a real healer BSB for once, its direct comparison, which is Realm's BSB, I would say that it's not better than that. Balthier's BSB 2. Spark of Change, 8 single target, random fire, non-elemental, enemy Imperil Fire, and burst mode. It's fine so far. 2 single target fire, non-elemental, 25% chance to minor Imperil Fire. 4 single target fire, non-elemental, ranged. Multiplier scales with uses of oil bomb during burst mode, up to 3. Gonna have to see this. I know I looked at this in the past. This actually has a chance to be one of the BSBs that is actually still, like, good. .6. It's a 0.6, but it has a 25% chance to minor Imperil. And oil bombs doesn't reset. So how strong is oil bombs at its highest level? So 0, 1, 2, 3 uses, you have 4.8. Well, that's certainly no Squall BSB2. He has a 25% chance to dual cast LMR, though. Which means... Okay, yeah, this BSB doesn't suck. I think this is probably one of the better Imperil BSBs in the game. I would not have minded getting this off of that 4th banner in the last festival. Which is the only banner in that festival that I rolled on. And see, the nice thing about this, and I would have preferred seeing that here, is Imperil's fine. When you're rocking Endfire, that means you're being selfish. You're buffing yourself, and you're augmenting the amount of damage that you can do. Balthier with his USB can't do as much damage as a lot of other fire damage dealers. But with his BSB, it's Imperil Fire. And it's made to Imperil. You see that Command 1 and the Command 2. It's made to inflict minor Imperils. That's great. Because now you're relying on the amount of damage that other people in the party can do. So if you have people that can take advantage of these Imperils, say Vivi, for instance, with his ability double black magic or something, the more hits you can do if an Imperil is active, the better, because that's somebody else augmenting your damage. makes it easy to exceed damage caps and whatnot. And anyway, I do like this BSB. Probably like it more than I should, but I do. I don't like this BSB more than I should because I like it as much as I should, which is a lot. Lars's BSB is a Kuraka Medica Party Status Blank 1. It is one of 2 BSBs that do this, and they are both very, very good. Larsa and Iris. Iris is probably the better of the 2 at the moment because she has an LMR that gives her 25% chance to dual cast. That kind of switches in the future when Larsa's Legend Dive opens up in the Final Fantasy XII event after this, where he gets 35% chance to dual cast White Magic on his LM2. His Wrath access is useful. I don't know how often I would actually use it in very difficult content because healers don't really get a whole lot of opportunity to have dead turns. If your name isn't Rosa. And I think Larsa works really well as a weird Entruster guy because he's got support 5, not just support 4. Oh yeah, also Affliction Break, that's nice. If you are able to mix in a turn with Larsa where you don't have to heal, him being able to Affliction Break is actually pretty awesome. So, this is a pretty decent BSB. This is a very good BSB. Next up we have Rex and his BSB, which is also good. This is a buffing BSB, which means it's mostly unaffected by the ability upgrade that we just went through. Whitefall's party attack and defense plus 30% and haste, also to the party. Commands are 4 single target, or probably 5 single target, lightning or ice physical damage. And, oh no, it's just 4, but the multiplier increases. And the second command, which is probably what it's more known by, is non-elemental, so it works everywhere. Probably not going to do a whole lot of damage, but that healing an ally for 25% max HP is kind of nice. What I see people probably running Rex as, and I think it was Blyven, you were trying to put together your win team. Rex BSB would actually be kind of nice on that team. As a attack defense Heiska. And what could Rex also do? you could open up Snow Spell Strike on him, but you're using Bart, so you'd probably use that instead. Anyway, tangent. This is a good BSB because it's a buffing BSB. I'm not sure how much I would personally use this, but I could see it finding a home on a lot of teams. Oh, he has White Magic 4 as well, so yeah, he's versatile, and he has Spellblade 5. That's why I wanted to go. That's where I was going with that. The fact that he has access to ice, earth, wind, fire, lightning, in a 5-star or more ability, so he has the ability to fit on a few teams. Okay, so that's our BSB section, which is definitely, absolutely better than most BSB sections that we're going to see these days. And this is the reason, is healer BSB, one of the best healer BSBs, and buffing BSB. It's stuff that's not, it hasn't been heavily impacted by the ability upgrade. And that's why most of these BSB sections that we're going to see on banners are just junk, because they're basically just super soul breaks. And Balthier's BSB is a good Imperil Fire source, so at least we may not have like a 2 out of 3 awesome top end, but it's a top end with a very low, not low. It's not that bad. There's nothing bad here. Both Balthier and Vaughn's USBs are not bad at all. Even if they're not at the top like Ash's is. And then we have a pretty decent burst soul break section. So thus far, I think this is a pretty safe banner. If you're looking for Final Fantasy XII synergy, this is probably exactly where you want to be pulling. I know Realm synergy isn't really all that useful anymore, but torments are a thing, so maybe 50 Mithril helps you out in those Sid missions. And the Sid missions are valuable since 5-star motes are at stake. Legend Materia section, Ash's Gloves, 7. Small lightning damage up. So that's a Lightning Bracer, that's nice. Start battle then Lightning. That's awesome for Ash. That is awesome for Ash. Because what she wants to be doing at the start of the battle is either Chain Thundaga or Sudden Thunder. So that's a fantastic Legend Materia for Ash. Penelo, low chance to dual cast white magic abilities. I will never say any bad things about that LMR. Penelo, you know, honestly, it's not on this banner. It's probably on the second banner, isn't it? It is. Penelo's best soul break is her USB, and I think Penelo with her USB in this LMR would be pretty fantastic. Her USB, for reference, is 0 cast time, Curaga Medica, HP stock 2000, and party physical blink. That's a fantastic USB. That together with her LMR would be awesome. And Balthier, low chance to double cast machinist abilities. Good. It's good with both his BSB and USB. Doesn't have any elemental characteristic. The Super Soul Breaks. What kind of junk can we find on this banner? Rex. Super Soul Break. 8 single target. Party Medica 40%. Whatever. Not that great. But I think this is at least nice. Balthier's Heart of Gold. Super Soul Break. Ooh, God. Inferno. 5. Area of Effect, Fire and Elemental Endfire. It's an Endfire Super Soul Break. So it's as good as the bursts on a lot of banners. But I think the key here is that it's Fire Light Armor. Which means I would much rather get 3 of these than, say, Rams's Chant Glove. Just an example. Just as an example. So what do I feel about, how do I feel about this banner? I don't have to. And I think that's what I want to convey immediately. I don't have to think about this banner at all. Because this is going to be dropping on December 21st. Which means we will already have festival banner information, or we will be getting festival banner information within days after this. So I don't have to make a judgment on this, and neither should you. Just like the Final Fantasy XIII event that is currently active right now, pulling on it shouldn't cross your mind until we have the festival information. Reasons why you would want to pull on this banner more than a festival banner. Well, one, this banner is possibly better than festival banners. I actually really like this banner a lot. But that's a distant possibly. It's tough because the festival banners are probably going to have 4 6 stars at the top. Which means it already has a chance. All of them will already have a chance to be better than this. They won't have 2% Super Soul Breaks at the bottom. Again, a nice thing. Even though this does have a nice Super Soul Break, in the end of this is still a super, and it's a consolation prize. It's a good consolation prize, but it's still a Super Soul Break, and It just means that there's a very high potential that all 5 of the festival banners will be better than this banner. So what else can I think of that would make this banner desirable in the event of the festival banners being good? You want Final Fantasy XII synergy for the D200 or D300 Torment Sid missions. That would be a good reason. I would not disagree with throwing 50 Mithril at this, because the worst relic on this banner is Rex's Super Soul Break. This is a great Soul Break for Sid mission synergy. 8 single target, non-elemental damage, party medica 40% on a character that can life siphon. That's really nice for Sid mission stuff. So that's the worst case scenario. Well, I guess it's not, because the Legend Materia relic's probably worse for that. But as far as soul breaks are concerned, so it's good for that. Ash with her OSB would make me really, really, really want to pull on this banner. Could I make a case for it? Like this LMR and this USB with that OSB. Whew, wow. Yeah, that's a good point, Blyven. The D300 is worth it because of the 5-star motes. But finishing D200 Sid mission torments are for funsies. Is it a single crystal? Even 2 crystals, you know, whatever. Anyway, that's my viewpoint on this banner. I really like it, and I'll probably. When we go over and have the gigantic, we're gonna have a bash when we get that banner information for the festival. I will go back and go over the Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy XII banners just to assess them versus the festival banners. Okay, banner 2. Bosch Scorpion Tail, Penelo USB, Gabrath USB. Bosch USB is the only new thing here. 10 single target, Holy Fire, ranged. Okay. And Holy, self-defense plus 100%, and temporarily gain Knight ability boost. I don't like what I'm seeing. That plus 100% defense is making me wary. Knight rank boost. So Bosch does a lot of damage. Okay, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm gonna draw a comparison for a second. We have defense plus 100%, grants attach holy and Knight rank boost to the user. There's probably something better, but this is the first thing that came to my mind. Celeste gets a USB that gives her Spellblade plus 30% boost and Spellblade double to the user. So Spellblade 30% boost is exactly the same as Bosch's rank boost, except Bosch's rank boost requires you to have ranks in the ability that you're using. In order to get that 30%, it has to be R5. Otherwise, it's less than that. But let's say you're using an R5 ability. What this is meant to do here is Celeste is meant to be a multi-elemental character. So she gets Spellblade plus 30% boost instead of, you know, N-Holy or N-Ice. Because those only affect one element, while this affects all elements. So it's meant to be a replacement for an N element on a USB or something in the eventuality that the character is, you know, multi-elemental like Celeste is. Bosch is not. He's single. Elemental. So he gets rank boosts, so a 30% increase in damage output, as well as Attach Holy. So he gets 50% increased holy damage from Attach Holy and 30% increased holy damage, or Knight damage from Knight rank boost. It was good, Bliven. But that was back in the day when it was prior to the new USBs coming out. But anyway, Guardbringer gets buffed to 5 hits and a 4.0 multiplier soon. If you R5 that, you've got defense plus 100% on the user, and you can just use Guardbringers. And this is an incredible amount of damage boosts. It's probably going to do a lot of damage. Is it as good as a lot of the holy physical damage that we have available to us? No. But is it good? Yeah. And Bosch has an OSB. He's a good, pretty decent character. He's got a bad legend die, never mind. Anyway, the USB isn't bad. You can do a lot of holy damage with it if you have an R5 Guardbringer. I guess I'll probably put it on the same tier as something like Balthiers. It's just good damage in an element that has much better available to it. Penella USB is awesome. 0 cast time, Kiragon Medica, HP stock 2000, and party physical blink. I really like it. Not as good as Rose's version, for, you know, 2 very important reasons. Wrath and Magic Blink over Physical Blink. Though, Physical Blink is going to have its day. It's definitely going to have its day. Ixion is a 4-star Magicite that it is a 4-star Magicite that dispels your party. But it's the spell itself is a physical attack. So it can be physical blinked. That makes something like this, 0 cast time physical blinks, pretty powerful. And skipping dispel mechanics is usually a pretty good way to win, whatever the fight is. So this is good. Anyway, Gabranth, Highway Star. This is not new. I think the first time we saw this was the Dissidia banner. RS Dark damage up, whatever. 10 single target, Dark Non-Elemental and Dark, self-attack and defense plus 30%, quick cast 1, and temporarily gain quick cast 1 when using Darkness abilities. Just like Balthier. Except for Darkness abilities instead of Machinist. It's fine, it's good. Just like Balthier's, it's fine and good. Not great. Good enough, though. BSB section, we got 4 of those. Vaughn's BSB is really old. But honestly, there's a part of my heart that still wants it. Actually, a pretty sizable chunk of my heart that still wants it. This is like a multiplayer MVP still. There should be high quick cast? I don't think so. Yeah, it's just quick cast. Bosch BSB is not good. It's just an Unholy BSB. Gabranth BSB is an Imperiled Dark BSB. And Nightbringer itself is plus dark damage. It's fine. It's in peril instead of an element. The commands are not good anymore. The first command is half cast time, but it's just not going to stack up like damage-wise and soul break generation-wise against the 5-star ability. Ash's Defiance is still good BSB. No, not a good BSB. The BSB itself is fine. It's just a good relic. It's the first plus magic lightning armor, while the second is her LMR from the first banner. The issue here is that, like, what is this even doing here? This is just a consolation prize. Thank you for the lightning armor. If you're pulling for something else on here, which I don't recommend. I don't like this banner. Bosch LMR start battle with Unholy. That's pretty cool. Holy Bracer too. Vaughn small duration up by status debuffs cast by self. Don't care. Gabranth start battle with End Dark. That's good. That makes his BSB better. Bosch Super Soul Break Party Physical Blink. Nice. No. It's a life siphonable physical blink, but I don't know. Maybe someone out there could make that work. Honestly, I don't think that it's a zero possibility. Gabranth's Helm, 5 area effect and dark, and tell me it's elemental armor at least. It is. This banner's not good. It's got some really neat things, but the neat things are just old. Bosch's BSB was good. Osh's BSB was good. Vaughn's BSB was good. Like, all top-tier stuff back in the day. But now it's kind of... This is like a clearance sale banner. Headlined by a still relevant USB from Pinello. Alright, we're done. Final Fantasy XII. Well, I'm done talking about the banners. What do you guys got to say about the banners? Do you agree with what I say about the pulling possibilities of the first banner? It may be one of the best admission banners that has ever been created. A buffing Heiska, 2 healer BSBs. Now, again, I'll reiterate.
Are you drunk?
Or,
Not drunk enough.
that realm synergy isn't, like, the thing as much anymore. Sure. But it doesn't mean it's completely irrelevant. What do you mean, Blyben? And thank you very much, Jimbo, for the bits. 250 Christmas trees. That's something I miss from living back in New England, is real Christmas trees. Real evergreen trees. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about the event Blyben, definitely. Those 2 machinist abilities are awesome. Hey, Solus. What's up? Oh, did you get gifted that because of the 250 cheer? Damn straight negators.